The man dug up a long buried box from his backyard. Inside were a full $400,000 in cash and a blood-stained baseball bat. 19 years earlier, it was because of this very bat that he had been sent to prison. The man's name was William. He had once been a low-level enforcer under the local mob boss, a man known as Bruce Bloody Hands. Bruce was notoriously brutal, and anyone who crossed him was always given special treatment. After seeing the ball get knocked out of the warehouse, William received orders and went out with his brothers to search for it. But when he returned, he was met with a gruesome scene. Enraged, Bruce had beaten a man to death with the baseball bat. Bruce made a solemn promise that William would take the fall for him and go to prison in his place. What was supposed to be a 5-year sentence ultimately turned into 19 years, and William went from a young man to someone worn down and aged by hardship. On top of that, William developed severe insomnia. The doctor told him that if he couldn't get proper rest, the final outcome would be dementia and death. There was no effective treatment for the condition, so William was granted early parole and released from prison. Back in his cell, William put away the photos of his wife and child. They had been his only source of emotional support for the past 19 years. When he walked out of prison, William saw his son, Louis, who had come to pick him up. After all these years, Louis had grown from an immature little boy into a full-grown young man. Seeing the weariness etched on his son's face, William was filled with guilt. Not long after he was in prison, his wife had died from overwhelming grief, and young Louis had become an orphan, living a life of wandering. Louis harbored resentment toward his father, so their relationship was strained, and all of it was caused by Bruce. William decided to find Bruce and make him pay for deceiving him back then. William returned to his old house, dug up the dirt in the backyard, and found the box that had been sealed away for 19 years. Inside were $400,000 and the baseball bat Bruce had used to kill someone. He then took Louis to a 5-star hotel. From this moment on, William intended to make up for everything his son had lost in the past. The two booked a presidential suite. William enjoyed a long, hot shower, then took Louis on a wild shopping spree, arranging everything for his son: luxury watches, custom-tailored suits, and expensive sports cars. After all this, Louis slowly began to accept his father, and their relationship eased. With the barriers between them gone, the father and son felt more like brothers. Once everything had settled down, William began his plan for revenge. He first went to find his old friend Mark, planning to buy a batch of weapons from him. However, the small-time thugs guarding the door didn't recognize William and even brandished their weapons. William said he wanted to do business with Mark, but a voice from inside replied that Mark had been dead for 6 years. The person who spoke was Mark's daughter, Annie. Since her father's death, Annie had taken over his business. Thinking about how his old friends had died one by one, William felt a wave of sadness. When the girl learned that William was there to buy guns, she took him to the warehouse and gave him a submachine gun and even tossed in a handgun as a bonus.